Hi, and welcome to this slightly different video about how I use AI to release my YouTube videos. So, what you're about to see this video have gone through this process, and I've used the previous video I did as an example for this video. So, there's a lot of steps in making YouTube videos. Some channels use weeks in order to edit and such things. I don't have the time, and I don't feel it's the value. So you might know that my videos are kind of not the best production quality, but hopefully the value in the videos is the main key. So I value giving you more content over sitting and nitpicking over a video. So this is the 8 steps that I go through in order to release a video. And you will see that the Codex, my favorite AI coding agent, I used a lot of the steps in here in order to take away some of the more tedious things that actually also happens with a video. Because before Codex, I ended up doing it in a few videos and not doing it in every one of them, which hurts the channel. But let's get into it. The first thing is, of course, to choose a topic, then research that topic and prepare the code. So the example here is I made a video about how you use AI in pure C Sharp. That's the one I'm using here to show what happened to that video. So I wrote the code. It took 2-3 hours to write this code. Other videos take 10 minutes to prepare, others take 2 days to prepare. It's very different depending on the topic. And doing this, I try to write as much of this code myself because I need to present it and know the ins and out of it. But sometimes Codex helped me, sometimes a little, sometimes a lot. In this case, it was only a few hints here and there. But for example, in my Let's Create a Chatbot video, it did a huge amount of the Blazor code, for example, because that has nothing really to do with you learning AI and me learning AI in the process. So Codex definitely have access to the various projects, but I tend to keep it at a minimum when it comes to the code itself. In real life, AI writes most of my code, but when it comes to the channel, I tend to write most of it myself. Step 2 is the thumbnail, because I need the thumbnail for the PowerPoint that you're looking at right now. So this thumbnail was one of them. But in that scenario, I needed to make a thumbnail, and I have a small skill called New Thumbnail, where I told it that it's not for an existing video, because it can also take the old videos and make new thumbnails. But here I told it that it was about a video about how to call pure using pure C Sharp LLMs using an HTTP client. So I gave it this little text, and I gave it this that I wanted to have that should be in the part of the screenshot. The skill itself is just a normal agent skill with skill MD, and it has a bunch of references, scripts, and assets because it can go into, if it's an existing video, to read the transcript and to figure out what the video is about and use that in the thumbnail. In this case, it was not an existing video, so I only told it about what it was about. But it has that. It has a bunch of asset references of previous good thumbnails. I feel like it should be has some references about the small robot I have that it can have multiple poses and so on. So in the skill MD, it has all this talking about what channel it is, what tools. It has the image generation tool from OpenAI, of course, and it should use Chrome Control to actually switch it out if it's an existing video. It's also being told that it should give some kind of view. So I there's a variety in the thumbnails. In this case, I told it it should be a red and purple hue. And it came up with this based on nothing but this little text, the skill, and this image. However, I didn't like it too much. I didn't like the purple here. So I told it, let's make it orange and light red instead. And it did it this way. And I also told it it should have a different title after the fact, because it said LLM pure C#. I wanted to say AI in pure C#. So at the end, it ended up with that. It also made the background, like you can see the background in here, so I can use them in the PowerPoints. Then we go on to recording. I have a PowerPoint ready, and it's possible for me to just talk through the code, talk through the PowerPoint slides, all depending on which video, of course, it is. I use OBS for doing this, and here we had the final PowerPoint that was ready, and my setup is a 2-monitor setup, so I can have all the prepared things on one screen, and then the screen you're looking at is this screen over here. And I'm recording on my microphone, which is on a boom arm, and as you can see, there's some blankets underneath the keyboard to reduce the keyboard presses. They still go through a little. I'm not too good at recording setups, but it is getting better for every video. So I begin to record. I often do a one take. The video I made here was actually 42-minute video, and it was a one take. I don't want to sit and fiddle with editing and spending hours upon hours. So I'm used to doing one takes on videos. Sometimes I need to restart 2-3 minutes in if I make a mistake. But the mistakes that are there, I tend to keep. It is very rare that I begin to edit something. But if I do, I use Clipchamp from Microsoft in order to do it. But I tend to not need to do it. I value the content over the nitpicky quality in most cases. Then I need to generate some subtitles. I still have a problem with my YouTube channel not generating subtitles by itself when I upload a video. But it's also a good thing because the generation of subtitles that are default on YouTube that works in other channels are kind of bad compared to what you can get. So I normally use something called Turboscribe.ai. They have a free service that I can make free transcriptions every day. And I tend to use that. Sometimes when I need a lot of videos, I pay a monthly fee. It's $20. But it's very rare that I have that many videos out every day. It have a limit of max 30 minutes. So the video we just talked about was 42 minutes long. So I use Codex instead in order to do this. So I just asked it, here's the recording, make me the subtitles, and it found the video and it began to do it. One of the cool things about Codex, by the way, is the side chat. You can write /side, and I asked it how long would it take. It didn't get it right. Oh, it did. It's between 10 and 25 minutes, and it took 14 minutes, so pretty okay. It's really, really cool that you can ask questions about the chat in another chat. But it made the files, but when I can, I rather want to use Turboscribe because I feel they are better at it than what a normal machine can do. But behind the scene, it's just the Whisper models that can run anywhere. But it is a kind of AI. Then I upload the video. I actually do that manually because there's a lot of steps that are a little more legal and stuff, and AI tend to not want to do them on my behalf. So I do this. I could begin to get it automated, but there's also some things in the YouTube AI API that can't be done. For example, in screens and stuff like that. So I tend to just do it manually, drop it up, write the title, and that's it. I just write to do in description. I choose the thumbnail, and I put in what playlist it should go on. But beyond that, I don't touch it myself. I put in the subtitles, and again, the API have some trouble putting up subtitles or every single time. So I do that manually. But again, that's one of the places I might be able to automate a bit more. But I do all this and put it into an unlisted video so I can get a URL. And the reason I need to do that is that I want to AI to make the description, the timeline, and the tags for me. So I simply have a skill called enhance video and give it the URL. And that skill have some scripts and assets as well. And the cool thing is that it knows that it needs to generate the title. It needs to, not the title, the description, including chapters, which is a very, very annoying thing to do yourself. It needs to do end screens, and it needs to add tags that fits. And for that reason, it actually goes up and reads the transcript of the video. So it goes up, grabs the transcript of the video because we have now put it up there. I could also have given us a file, but it's just easier to have the video ready and let it grab it itself. It reads out what it's about, and since the transcript have time codes, it can fairly good write the chapters for me instead of me sitting and scrubbing through the video and making the chapters myself, which is very annoying to the point where I actually didn't do it before AI, really. So it does that, and it does that using computer use. It simply takes over my Chrome browser, and it sits and do it. So it's written the description. There's some templates on how it should do it, and it made the chapters so it can go in and do this thing. And then it switches over to the end screen, which doesn't work with the API at all. So it sits and drags the mouse around, press and choose and everything. So it puts in the most recent video that is recommended by YouTube, and then I put in a link to my Udemy course here for promotion of that. And then I actually released the video, but I also want not just to have subtitles in English. So I have a small automated schedule that runs once a day and put in more subtitles to the various videos. But because the API that does this is very, very rate limited, it can roughly make 1.5 video for when I put in I think it's 14 different languages I put into the system. So it just sits every morning at 9:15 after a rate limit headset, and it does the work. It completed this video with the 10 languages, then it went on to this one. It's missing a few on that one, but it will take that tomorrow. So slowly, over many, many days, it will get through all the videos. It always takes the newest ones. So, for example, this video will probably get it in 1 or 2 days. Until then, auto languages will happen, but I rather want to have them in there as native. So those are all the steps that happens. As you can see, Codex is really, really helpful in giving you better thumbnails, better descriptions, better in screens, better chapters, and all those nicety things that are there. That if I were as a solo developer, this YouTube channel without an editor or anything, I would spend a lot of time doing it. I'm still trying other things. I have heard about automated video editing. I don't really see that I'm gonna do it, but I'm probably gonna try it. And in general, just say, okay, let me do my work. Here's the video. Take care of the rest. But with me in the loop. But this is what I do so far, and I hopefully see that the videos and the channel in general have gotten a really facelift with all the new thumbnails that have come over the summer, and what happens for every new video going forward. So Codex is really, really nice to have as a sidebar kick to the YouTube channel. I'm still doing the videos, and I'm still doing the research. With that, thank you for listening, and see you in the next one.